Do you feel like, oh, on par, there are a lot of the similar businesses, or do you feel there's a difference in the type of businesses that are out there? Just because of the nature of Europe, how tightly packed it is.
Yeah.
But, I guess in cities in the U.S., they're tightly packed. Anyway, it's a strange question. It's always been a curiosity.
No, it's a good question. I feel there's an envy, I feel, in among European business owners of the American market and the American much more liberalized way of doing business. There's so much less red tape in the US than there is here. The market is so much larger in general. Well, I guess in Europe overall it's also big, but in the US, if a business is ready to get to that next level of growth and expand into a middle sized company, they tend to have nationwide plans right away or very quickly. In Europe, it's different because every country, yes, they're in the same union theoretically or practically,
Right.
but the laws are not necessarily identical across the board.
Right.
So for a business to sell, let's say, I don't know, a cake in Moldova, in Romania, in Spain, or in the Netherlands, they're going to have different requirements of what they have to write on their packaging, for example,
Right.
from one country to another. So having in the US, you don't really have that, or you may in rare cases, I feel, but it's an exception to the rule as opposed to the vast majority of cases here.
Yeah.
So because of that reason, in Europe, I feel owners and investors are less ambitious or less ambitious from the get-go, and that kind of limits their geographical expansion and geographical plans. They're much more prudent in that respect. So they allocate the budget respectively from a marketing expansion and marketing strategy point of view. but a lot of the people that I've spoken to who find out that we're working for both Moldovan and U.S. clients, they're always asking me, so like how do you do this? Like, what is there any way that we can maybe penetrate the U.S. market? Like, can you help us achieve that? And I the answer is always yes, of course. It's just a different, you have to think things through, plan it out. One of the biggest industries in Moldova is winemaking. So it's a little known fact, but Moldova is like in the top 10 biggest wine producers in the world. And this year, from what I've recently read, the statistics, the U.S. is the largest Moldovan wine importer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it switched from maybe 10 years ago, it would have been Russia, right? Now it's the United States number one and Romania number two, which is right across the border.
Yeah.
But everyone is kind of in shock with all of the trade stuff going on. So from what I've talked to winery owners, they're waiting to see how it all pans out because they're very affected by the current policies being, on trade and stuff. So there's always this interest to penetrate the U.S. market. It's the mirage, right? People are looking in that direction, but it's tough. It's not easy to do.